What's up? Welcome in to another Hood postgame show right here, wherever you get your podcast, and right here on YouTube. I'm Jonathan Hood. Thanks so much for checking out the podcast. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and comment to our video here today as the Chicago Bears beat down the Cleveland Browns by a score of 31-3 at Soldier Field. We want to get your reaction. We'll also hear from Ben Johnson, head coach for the Chicago Bears, but it's a double-digit win Chicago Bears team, 10 wins on the season. And to talk to me about it, of course, we usually do this through text or on the phone, but no. We do this here so we get it all out. Our crazy cousin Wiley, is with us as usual for our post-game show. Cuzzo, another Bears victory as the Bears beat the Browns at frigid Soldier Field. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Cuzzo. How you feeling?
I feel great. After this one, I feel great that the Bears were able to bounce back with a victory against Cleveland.
I agree. Like the atmosphere, the weather, the Bears defense, it was colder than a pimp's heart, but we needed that. We definitely needed that. We needed a laugher, and they gave us that. Practically shut out the Browns offense. 3 interceptions. It was a win the Bears needed to do. Now just win a couple more games, and we're talking about division and playoffs.
The best player on the field, I want to get this out the way first and foremost, is Myles Garrett. Was the best player on the field. The guy that's going to the Hall of Fame, number 1, is Myles Garrett. He got himself like a sack and a half. I think it was kind of confusing at the end, but it just shows you, man, how strong that guy is. Caleb Williams completely holds the ball too long, whether it's a win or a lose for the Bears. He holds the ball too long. But Myles Garrett is just a monster out there as a football player. And more times than not, when the Browns play, he is the best player on the field. And the Bears did the best job they could to try to chip and try to be able to get an extra lineman. And Trapillo's out there by himself on the island sometimes. Bears did the best job they could, but, man, Myles Garrett is a beast. Give him credit.
No, he is. He was great. He was coming off the edge like Caleb Williams owed him money, basically.
Yes.
And what's impressive about what he does, Cuzzo, is he has 22 sacks this year for a team that is rarely leading. So he's getting these, not in the game situations where the offense is going to go back there passing. He's getting these through the progression of a games where Cleveland is usually getting their brains beat in. So shout out to Myles Garrett, hell of a player, Hall of Famer, and should be definitely Defensive Player of the Year, and should be in the conversation for MVP as well, because what he's doing on a losing team, has never been done before. It's really impressive.
Cuzzo, it's so rare that the Bears get a laugher. So rare that, you're always on pins and needles. You don't know what the Bears are going to do, but you just need that sometimes to be able to look at that tape for once on Monday and be like, yep, I did that. Yep, I was able to do that. My teammates did that. You need to be able to have some lighthearted banter in the locker room and in film to say, when we are at our crest, when we're at our best, we can do a lot of great things. I think the Bears did that on all 3 phases today.
No, they did. Starting with Duvernay, making probably had his best game in a year, as a returner, and then you had DeAndre Swift. What was it? 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. He was out there running like the rent was due, Cuzzo. And yes, like, to me, like, you need that down the stretch. You need that down the stretch. And our guy DJ was playing that song all afternoon, mm-hmm, and we needed him to show up big because Rome was down again. And then obviously you got Caleb, the fewest interceptions in the first 1,000 passes. I mean, that's huge. That's huge. And as I always say, because except last week, God bless Dennis Allen. God bless Dennis Allen. He was, the Bears defense was out there reading Shedeur Sanders like a bedtime story. 3 little picks, big win, team win. So fired up, Cuzzo. 10 wins.
Yeah, it feels good for sure. And by the way, Wiley's on one. If you don't know, he's got See all the parallels, by the way, already, about 5 or 6 of them already. As we look inside the numbers for this one at the Bears and their victory against the Cleveland Browns, Caleb Williams finished 17 for 28, good for 242 yards and 2 touchdowns. And we got to talk about Caleb in just a moment, just how he's able to score those touchdowns. Because from there, 142 yards rushing for the Bears as a team, 33 carries. DeAndre Swift 2 yards shy of 100, but he had two touchdowns on the day. Kyle Monangai 11 for 33. Also, Caleb Williams ran the football 3 times for 13 yards. The targets, it was led by Luther Burton, 6 for 84. Catch the ball, young man. Catch the ball. DJ Moore, we got to talk about with 2 touchdowns, 4 for 69. Colston Loveland, 4 for 63. Cole Kmet, 2 for 28. And the Bears defense led by TJ Edwards and also DeMarco Jackson. A lot of that was heard from DeMarco Jackson, number 48 for the Chicago Bears. Great job by him. A total of 5 sacks for the Bears defense, a total of 8 tackles for loss for the Bears defense. And then you talk about special teams as well with Ava DuVernay's kid coming through in a big way as well. So I just thought that all around a very solid performance for the Bears on all 3 phases. Did a great job today against a team you're supposed to be against. The Browns are 3-11. You're supposed to take care of business, and they did.
No, you're right. But like this, to me, this isn't one of those wins where you're like, oh, you're supposed to pound the Browns. The Browns have played well in beating some of the better teams in the NFL. This defense is second best in the NFL, and the Bears put up 400 yards against the second best defense in the league. You can talk about the offense all you want, but this is a great Browns defense, and the Bears still managed to put up 400 yards, 366 to be exact, against the second best defense in the NFL. So, like, hats off to the offense. Hats off to Dennis Allen for doing what he needed to do against an inexperienced quarterback that was playing with a lot of banged up offensive linemen. And this is a statement, like that you are a serious team when you come home after a road trip and you put belt to ass against a team when you need a win. And this is what we're going to need to do the rest of the season. And here's the truth, because I don't want to get all we're supposed to act like we've been here before. No, this is a team. This is a Bears team that we didn't expect much for. No one really expected much for the season, and they are 10-4 on the cusp of making the playoffs. Not just making the playoffs, winning the division. So this is really impressive what this team is doing. Still shorthanded defensively, shorthanded now offensively when it comes to receivers, and they're still getting the job done.
Yeah, please leave your comments and also like, share, and subscribe to what we do on Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. Plenty of content we have here for Under the Hood, presented by Incan Law, 3126 million. Injury Law Made Personal. That's Incan Law. Spent time with Howard at his Christmas party, his holiday party on Friday. He couldn't have been happier with what we do on ESPN 1000 and also here on Under the Hood with talking about Howard Incan. Always someone that will fight for you. Howard Incan, 3126 million. Injury Law Made Personal. That's Howard Incan. Sign my ball. You need to talk about the quarterback for the Chicago Bears, and that is Caleb Williams. So, you know what I liked about Caleb, Cuzzo? I really liked that he took his time in the pocket, where he was not necessarily rushed out of the pocket, again, against a very formidable defense in the Browns. You can't tell that by the one-loss record, but it is a strong defense led by Myles Garrett. But I just thought that Caleb was more at ease defensively in this game, where he's able to connect to his targets. He loved connecting to Loveland, clearly, and also the offense was able to make a correction from last week. DJ Moore getting nothing offensively. You knew that they were going to be able to overcorrect that, and they did with DJ Moore getting the ball a lot more. So I just thought the offense had a little bit is what I've been looking for a while now, just being able to get the ball down the field, run the football when you have to, and be able to score points. That's exactly what we love from that Chicago Bears offense. That's for sure.
One of the things I was most impressed with Caleb today was his decision-making and accuracy. So the 242 yards, in 112 quarterback rating came with 4 drops. And those 4 drops were, in probably critical moments of the game. So critical moments of drive. So he could have had an even bigger game than he had if Monangai, if I think Burton dropped one. I know
Burton, yeah.
Yeah, I know Oz dropped one and Komet dropped one at the end of the second quarter. So those were some huge drops that could have gave Caleb even bigger day against the best pass defense in the NFL. So it was impressive day by the passing offense in the cold against the best pass defense in the NFL. So hats off to Caleb, hats off to Ben Johnson for scheming things up, and hats off to the Browns for quitting after the first drive or two, because they made a business decision today.
You know what? I kind of thought the same thing too. I hate to use that word because we're not on the field. We don't know what's in the hearts of the players, but I can kind of tell that, especially how Swift was running the football and doing it with a ruthless aggression. Again, popping some helmets. He knocked, I think it was 46. I identified the player. He knocked his ass down. It was Schwesinger, number 49, as a matter of fact. You saw that play, right? He just kind of just ran over him. Like there is a feeling of like, I don't want to feel this anymore in this weather. I don't want to get popped like that. That Bears team, especially when they run the football and that offensive line is moving furniture, there's a feeling I thought from the Browns at times, just watching, like, yeah, I don't want to feel that anymore. Like, I'll try to tackle you, but I do not want to get that physicality and that weather and that feeling on me at the same time. Because I just thought that there was a time where I thought the Browns was like, okay, I think we're done here.
Yeah, it was time for warm milk in a blanket, and that's what we saw from a team that really had nothing to play for. So you're talking about, you hit them in the mouth early, 14-0, and they're like, okay, you know what? That's it. First half, time of possession, Bears 20 minutes, Browns 9 minutes. Like that's a team that's like, hey, yeah, let's play for next week. Let's get back to locker room. Let's warm up. Let's get some cocoa and whatever else, marshmallows, and just play for next week. And the Bears took advantage of that, and that's what good teams do. Good teams that want to be great teams take advantage of teams that aren't ready to play. And the Bears took the Browns' soul, and 31 points. I believe that may be the most points the Browns have given up all season. So hats off to the Bears offense, and we still left some out there with a chip shot missed by Santos and some stalled drives. But this was really an impressive win by an up and coming Bears team that's looking to make noise in these next 3 games and in the playoffs.
No, Cuzzo, there's been a lot more that the Browns have given up, actually. So 31-3 the final today? Okay.
Yep. 32 margin of victory?
Yeah. Oh, well, that's a different conversation. Like, Patriots beat the Browns 32-13. We have seen the Lions beat the Browns 34-10. Ravens beat the Browns 41-17. I think those are the largest amount of victory, like as far as points surrendered. But the Bears are right there in the team photo, like top 3 teams that put a lot of offense on them, and rightfully so. When you're right offensively, when you can run the football the way the Chicago Bears did, and then just to know that DJ Moore is in the mix. We made a big deal of it on Cap and J Hood, made a bit out of it about how DJ Moore is like missing in action, right? Like America's Most Wanted. Cannot find where DJ Moore was, because what we're doing is making fun of the fact that DJ Moore has done what the Bears have asked him to do. This whole thing where the head coach comes in and says, no block, no rock. Everyone's got a block, and ultimately he wants everyone to work together. All good. I understand that. That at the same time, DJ Moore has done his yeoman share of blocking. Now reward him, especially with Roma Dunze out. It is no excuse for DJ Moore not to get more receptions and make a bigger impact for the Bears offense. And he did today.
No, he did. And he's been tough because of like all season. We talked about this last week, and I heard you talk about it on your show as well on ESPN. Like, he's done everything that's been asked of him. The kid's tough as nails. He shows up, he blocks, and targeting him more than one time on a screen shouldn't be too much to ask for arguably the Bears' second best receiver on the team. So him catching a couple touchdown passes today will probably quiet some of the noise, but one of those touchdown throws, Guzzo, I mean, that was a dart. Like there was no margin for error, and he fit a ball between 2-3 defenders and hit DJ in the numbers for a touchdown. So it was a great day for DJ, great day for the passing offense. But yeah, we have to keep DJ involved in the passing game. And Luther Burden, touchdown Luther, nice. That boy good. That boy is good.
That's gonna be something, man. Like it may not be this year, but next year, like that's gonna be a guy. The speed's already there. The hands have to be there, obviously, as often as possible, because you know that this is a pass happy offense a lot of times. And so Burton just in his rookie year, let him go through the growing pains, but there's something special that's gonna happen with Luther Burton, I think. I do.
Move over Dunze. That boy's coming.
Yeah. So you know, speaking of Caleb Williams, I'm just still perplexed. I need to go back and watch it again for like the 18th time of how he was able to get that second touchdown in the game to DJ Moore. I can't believe, because of the throw between two defenders in the end zone, and somehow DJ Moore comes down with the football. You know, the takeaway comes in handy with Jackson first to get that field position. But just I don't know how Caleb does that. Like, this is one of one throws, you know, like Mahomes, as we kind of see, maybe on the backside, the back nine of his career, you know, still a good quarterback, but, you know, there's a lot of good young quarterbacks, veteran quarterbacks in this league, but very few could do what Caleb is doing. I don't know how he makes that throw. We just talked about this 2 weeks ago with the Zacchaeus catch, where he puts that smoke in a keyhole, just like that little bit, right, to be able to get that in there for a touchdown. How the hell does he do that? I have no explanation.
Like, it's special talent, because I mean, that's what's so maddening about Caleb at times, is that he can make throws that only he can make, and then he misses throws that, you know, virtually every other quarterback can make as well. So it's finding that consistency for Caleb. And, you know, I heard Ben move the goal post just a little bit this week when he talked about if the Bears get a ticket to the dance, Caleb will be playing his best football of the season when they get to the dance. So I'm looking forward to that.
I don't know how he does this, though. I mean, like, is it because of the competition? Sometimes I don't even think it's competition. He just finds a way to get the ball into these odd areas to be able to make these fantastic throws. You know, what I've been saying for a long time is like, hey man, look, shoot the ball as far as you can. As long as it goes in, it's all good, man. If your range is at half court, go ahead. Just give me the layups too now. Don't forget those. Right? I want the intermediate game too. So
no, it's impressive. Like, the kid has a lot of arm talent, and just gotta clean up the basic stuff.
I like it. You know why, Caleb? You know why? Because Caleb still has room to grow. Like we saw in this game, even though it was a blowout, like was it 4 or 5 third down, lack of third down conversions? It's kind of like, come on, bro. Like you gotta just keep the ball moving. I'll tell you something. We're gonna hear from Ben Johnson a little bit as soon as he comes to the podium. There was a play, Cuzzo, that I did not like. It was in the late in the first half, that third down play where they threw the ball instead of running it. Do you recall this?
Yeah, I do. I thought Ben got too cute with that last drive.
4th and 3 was a sack, right? There's a fourth down play. Like that's one play. I don't know. Like, I'm not sure why they went for it on 4th and 3, but also there's a third down play. I'm just going through my notes on Threads. Where I'm thinking, like, if you just run the football, you don't need a long pass on 3rd and 1 or a 3rd and short. Just run it, right?
No, but you're right. But the truth was, like, I thought Ben got too greedy there. Just run the ball, get the first down, reset the downs, and then keep it moving. But
you were saying, sir?
Go
ahead. Little Wi-Fi issue. You were saying about Cole Kmet, you're breaking up a little bit. You were saying, go ahead.
All right. Kmet drops the ball on 2nd and 1. He was wide open over the middle. He drops the ball. And then you had Oz on 3rd down, trips over his his feet, and that was the incompletion. But to your point, I did think Ben should have just ran the ball, got the first down, and then kept the drive going. And I thought there was a few times he got too cute. Even the drive where, well, I mean, even starting the second half when the Browns were able to get the field goal, Ben goes for it on fourth down, and Caleb gets the sack, and that puts the Browns in position to get their only points of the game off the field goal. It was, to me, it was too risky then because the Bears were only up 2 touchdowns. Punt the ball. Defense had been shutting Shador down all game. Punt the ball, give the defense the opportunity to continue to shut Sanders down, and then you'll get the ball back in great field position. And instead, Caleb got sacked on fourth down, and we're looking at a Browns team that was in great field position. Fortunately, defense held them to 3, but that could have easily turned the game around. You're talking about a 7-14 game, and now things are getting tighter. So Ben, probably should be less aggressive in some of those moments and just manage the game the way it's being played. And I didn't think that was a case where, okay, let's get aggressive because we need to do it. It was like, no, the defense is playing really well. Let's punt. Let's pin the Browns back and have Dennis Allen's gang go out there and get us the ball back with good field position.
Let me ask you a question about the end of the half. Would you like to have a field goal kicker that can give you more than 55? Especially in 2025, Cuzzo, like, is there somebody out there who can give you at least 60? Because it's not on the roster right now.
Well, we had that guy on roster in Moody, and we let him go to the Commanders, because we couldn't elevate him from the practice squad because we needed Santos on a team to miss 30-yard chip shots in the first half. Like, I know the team loves him, but God, like he drives me crazy because his leg isn't strong enough for kickoffs to help the Bears in any meaningful way. He misses like a 30-yard field goal in the first half. He almost missed an extra point, and we got to settle for like a hook and ladder because he can't, kick a long field goal like this. To your point, this is 2025. Be better. Be better.
I did not like it. I didn't like that nonsense at the end of the first half. Like, end of the fourth quarter, desperation, you're trying to score, fine. It made us look like a clown car. I'm just saying, like, I'll take at least the try. Maybe the wind blows it. Maybe that helps him. I know it was a tough day, but still, man, it's just like, he's telling the sideline reporter, yeah, because of the weather, it's -7 on my actual trajectory. I can't kick it that far. I'm like, I would never let anyone know that.
Yeah.
I would. Here's the one thing I'm not going to do, Wiley. I'm not going to tell you what I can't do. Right? It might reveal itself, things I can't do, but I'm never going to tell you up front. Like, you have to figure that out yourself, right? I'm not going to tell the sideline reporter, weather's a little bit too difficult. Yeah, -7. That's what it feels like today. Whatever my long is, 55. Yeah, probably 7. Take 7 off because it's too cold. The hell with that. You're never going to know that. I'll tell the coaching staff before I tell the sideline reporter that. That was weird to me.
Yeah, that wasn't a smart decision by a veteran player because we're all watching the game. The Browns are watching the same game, and them finding out, okay, well, the Bears can only kick it from here. Imagine if the game was close and his kick mattered. The Browns would know what his limit was. And if we're being honest, in that first half, I wasn't sure if he can kick a ball from 35 yards because that extra point almost missed, and then he missed a chip shot field goal. So yeah, be better. You play in Chicago. It's going to be cold. Bring your leg. And if you can't bring your leg, then find a different employment because this isn't a city where you can come in and not be able to kick chip shots.
Hey, we've got under the hood merchandise that's available for you right now. We have got hoodies, we've got t-shirts, Cuzzo. We've got so much. How about J Hood and cousin Wiley, because we're together. Of course, we've got mugs and we've got t-shirts and something for the ladies. And of course, you want to stay warm, and we got beanies as well. Check it out. It's in the bio, and you're wondering, like, where can I find this? It's in the bio. All you gotta do is, whether you're listening to us on Under the Hood on Spotify or Apple, wherever you get your podcast, or right here on YouTube, it's in the bio right here. Check it out. We've got the merchandise, and boy, for a day like today, wouldn't it be great to have an Under the Hood hoodie today? Put the hood up and just be able to represent the podcast that you support, Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. I think it'd be perfect.
No, I agree as well. It would be, and also what would be perfect as well, getting some Under the Hood merchandise under your Christmas tree. You know, contact Santa, tell him where to get the goods from, and get your loved ones and yourself some Under the Hood merchandise for Christmas. Put it in your stocking. It's a great stocking stuffer.
Yes.
Your Under the Hood tumblers and hoodies and t-shirts and mugs. It's having an Under the Hood mug on a cold winter day with a little coffee, little whiskey, little vodka, little tequila, whatever your vice is.
Kool-Aid.
It'll warm your soul, and help you enjoy the holiday season.
Yes, do it the way Cousin Wiley does it. Pour yourself a nice cup of debauchery and enjoy Chicago Bears football. That's how you do that. Yes. Absolutely. Let's hear now from Ben Johnson, the head coach for the Chicago Bears. It was a laugher for the Chicago Bears as they defeat the Cleveland Browns 31-3. Hey, make sure that you leave your comments about the game and your thoughts about the upcoming game as the Bears get ready to take on the Green Bay Packers. Here's the coach.
Business we talked about this week. You come off a very highly emotional game the week before, and we ended up on the loss side of that one. And it's the easy thing to do is allow that to spiral out of control. And the guys didn't allow that to happen. They came back to work and handled the process really well. And like I said, they took care of business here this week. I thought the coolest thing about it, not only the weather, those guys handled it extremely well, but to see our fans come out in full force like they did, and really made an impact on that game. You could hear them, you could feel them on out there, and I could tell that our opponent was struggling with the crowd. So we're going to need that going forward. Couple more home games here this regular season, and we'll keep it moving. I can't say enough good things here about our defense. I think this was really an outstanding performance. I know we gave up a couple explosives that we'd like to have back, but outside of one or two plays, they really did a phenomenal job, shutting down the run game, making it second and long, third and long, and getting off the field. When you combine that with the takeaways, once again, 3 takeaways there in the second half, which were enormous for us. It really, I thought, carried the day for us. Offensively, tough opponent. That's a really good defense. We talked about it being a top 3 defense going into the week, and that proved to be the case. We had some success at times, but yet it wasn't as consistent as we would like it to be. Moved the ball somewhat well in the first half, but yet didn't capitalize with points the way we would like to. And in the second half, we were able to find a couple more opportunities for points. So all in all, I thought it was a pretty good day. Special teams came through for us. Duvernay had some big returns. Our kickoff unit once again showed why we believe they're a weapon for us, and so that was really encouraging to see as well. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up from there.
We see a lot of Caleb putting the accuracy, just putting the ball where it would lead the receivers into more yards.
Did I see that today? Yeah. Once again, I got to go back and I got to look at it. Sometimes my perspective doesn't always show that for me, but yeah, I thought he did a good job finding some open guys, and it did feel like we had a little bit more run after catch here this week than what we've maybe had over the last few weeks, and so usually that's a good sign.
Would you expect him where everything kind of looks a little better, a little sharper for him, passing wise, can be a step forward after this?
Yeah, once again, I got to go back and look and see if that is the case. Where I know our completion percentage is maybe a tick higher than what it's been, so that's a good thing. But we'll go back. We'll find out where what we did well and what we need to clean up. But there's a number of areas. You win a game 31-3, and yet there's still a number of areas where we need to address, and we need to continue to get better as a team.
What's your perspective on that second touchdown pass to DJ? Where Caleb goes right and just makes that kind of ridiculous throw?
Yeah, no, it reminded me a little bit of was it Philly that he threw it to OZ in the back of the end zone? He's rolling to his right, and we just barely missed OZ. I think that was Philly, and similar type concept where he's rolling to his right, and he finds the guy on the back of the end zone behind him like that. And I would say 99% of quarterbacks, you tell them don't even waste your time looking back there and trying to make that throw. There's usually bad things that happen, and yet he's got the ability to make that throw. And DJ made a heck of a play there right on the back line as well. So that was one of those highlight moments there.
Then what specifically happened with Gronk? You guys, there was a pretty good chance he was going to play, and how did he?
Pre-game re-aggravated the foot, so. We'll find out more tomorrow, just the extent of that.
So the thoughts from the head coach of the Chicago Bears right there, Cuzzo, Ben Johnson, last part asking about Rome Odunze. I don't know if you heard that. A question about Rome Odunze and re-aggravated the foot. So a little bit of a setback for Rome Odunze. But I think that the positive in that is the Bears have an embarrassment of riches that they can go to offensively. Usually in this spot when you're a bad football team, you have one wide receiver, you got one tight end, or you got one special player you can have offensively. The Bears have a number of guys they can go to be able to fill the bill for Rome Odunze.
No, that's a shout out to Ryan Poles and obviously Ben Johnson and his staff for developing the receivers, but they have more than enough to fill in the void that the Rome is leaving. I was disappointed that the Bears even tried to play Rome this week. I didn't think it was necessary for him to play. I thought, waiting, a week.
Yeah, in that situation, you don't need Rome Odunze.
Let him get back into the pack or
yeah.
Yeah, so he's going to be out for an extended period of time. So, but yeah, I didn't think he needed to play this week. But the Bears, from Burton, Loveland, Moore, Kmet, and even in Oz, they have more than enough to, fill the void for whatever Rome would normally bring.
It's good to see some of these names you mentioned defensively. God bless Dennis Allen, the defensive coordinator for the Chicago Bears, as he had a number of players that stepped up big time offensively for the Bears, with TJ Edwards and DeMarco Jackson, with Jaquan Brisker, Austin Booker. This is a game in which the Bears can eat defensively against the that makeshift offensive line. And by the way, we're Bears fans. We know what it's like to have a bad, rickety offensive line. Shedeur Sanders had to deal with that today, and the Bears were able to eat defensively. It was good to see the Bears get home, getting some sacks, getting some tackles for a loss. It's just few and far in between we see this, Cuzzo, so it's good to see that today.
No, it is, but there's just I completely agree, but just want to caution one thing. Jalen Johnson has to stop getting his ass whooped. Like that was a touchdown to 007, but he dropped the ball and it just happened to fall in Jalen Johnson's arms. This is that would have been three big receptions in this game that would have gone against Jalen Johnson. Like I know he's coming back from an injury, but like some of this isn't like physical. Some of this is more of mental mistakes, and he has to get better these next few weeks because he can't bank on guys dropping balls, and he can't bank on someone covering his ass when he gets beat deep. So we want to see the Pro Bowl corner who got a big money contract over these next few games and then into the playoffs. But yeah, outside of Jalen Johnson, I thought the defense played really well. Our guy DeMarco had a sack, had an interception. Booker had 2 sacks. Dexter showed up and got his sack. So everybody pretty much ate along defense. So even old man Grady got a sack to end the game. So I thought defensively across the board they played really well. I just want more from Jalen Johnson. If he can't provide more, then maybe he needs to switch places with Tyreek Stevenson and sit on the bench because we can't have those big plays being given up.
So there's a whole thread we're going to get to in a second in the comments section regarding Shador Sanders, and we'll put it all on the screen if you're watching on YouTube, and we will tell everybody on this listening audio wise what we are reading when it comes to Shador Sanders. Okay, so I did not know coming into this game that this was a thing, that this was Shador Sanders going to outplay Caleb Williams or Shador Sanders. Let me just tell you my overall view, Cuzzo, of Shador Sanders. Like any young quarterback, you're learning, right? No one comes to the league and all of a sudden you're just going from a rookie to the very best we've ever seen, because that doesn't work that way. You go through growing pains. The Browns have been the shits for a long time, just like the Bears, okay? It's almost like two Spider-Man memes like pointing at one another, like the Browns have been bad for a long time, and so have the Bears. What the problem is with the Browns is that the Browns have not found a quarterback since Bernie Kosar. The Bears have not found a quarterback since Sid Luckman, and maybe they found one now in Caleb Williams. Again, that's the hope. But the same thing with the Browns is that the Browns have been going through the amount of quality players, quarterbacks, bad quarterbacks, so they have been able to find their footing to be a consistent football team. They've had their pop-up, division championships here or there over the years, but not very good. So Shador Sanders is not here to save the franchise. Shador Sanders is here to be able to learn how to play quarterback on the NFL level. I don't want to get his confidence twisted to being convinced that he can get the job. He's confident because his last name is Sanders. Okay. I mean, because he's Deion's son, of course he's going to take everything in stride, and he's going to have confidence because he has unflinching confidence because his last name is Sanders. That's the family. How about this? A dad that's going to be able to say, I'm a Hall of Famer. I'm going to lift you up. So that way, all the growing pains and everything's going to be saying stuff, people saying about you. You just have to look out for the pitfalls of everything. Doesn't mean that you're going to be great, but I just want you to know you walk in because you're an NFL draft pick with confidence. So just because he's smiling and because he looks good and because he's glib doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to save the franchise. So I didn't know that there was this conjecture out there that Sanders is going to outplay Caleb or Sanders is better than Caleb, because everybody grows up differently in this league, and I think Shador is going to be okay. I'm not going to say he's the greatest like some are saying, but I think that Shador Sanders is going to be okay as a quarterback for this Browns team, especially provided that he has support, offensive line, weapons that wants to run routes, which we did not see today. I mean, he can be good, but the front office, head coach, and the players around him also have to be good.
I completely agree. I thought, I know the numbers don't look great, but I thought Shador looked calm under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice touch on the deep passes. I thought his guys let him down a few times, but I thought overall his offensive line was overmatched. So he really didn't have a chance. And then Dennis Allen, like any great defensive coordinator, he's going to do things that's going to confuse a young quarterback. So I think the Browns have something to work with. And considering their cap situation next year, I don't think they can afford to, go and make wholesale changes at quarterback. So I think giving a kid a longer look or even let him compete for the job next year, I think will be good for them. I think they have a really good tight end. 007 is a nice deep threat. Judy can be Bond, 007. Rookie Bond.
Isaiah Bond.
Yeah. And then Judy is a nice receiver. Their main issue is offensive line. They can't block anyone. It's turnstile after turnstile at every position. So give the kid some time. I'm not going to say he's going to be Tom Brady, but I think he can be a quality NFL starting quarterback.
But it depends on the Browns. That's the thing, right? We've seen quarterbacks in here. You have jerseys in your closet of those that you thought it was going to be great. The one thing that we know about sports, cousin Wiley, is that if you do not give players infrastructure, they will not succeed. All the guys that you thought that would be good quarterbacks or good players with this team, with the Bears in particular, they could have been if you had the right coaching and you had the right personnel and you did well in the draft. Individual players do not necessarily make a team a championship team. Just like one tight end, one left tackle, cornerback. It takes a team. It takes a bunch of dogs, quality players to be able to get to where you need to be. And so with Shedeur Sanders, like I've seen where people have gone over the top, almost in Tim Tebow-like fashion, rooting for Shedeur Sanders. You have every right to do that. That's fine. But I think it's fair to watch the young man progress. Let's see how he grows. Let's see if the Browns help him grow. The other thing is I'm not going to tell you that he's a shits because of how low he was drafted, or because he's Deion's son, or because they drew it up in the dirt in Colorado offensively. Like, man, let the young man grow. So there's a lot of this in the chat here on Under the Hood. Jesus Vasquez says Cam Newton said that Sanders is going to outplay Caleb. I didn't see that. I didn't read about that, but okay, I didn't know about that. Peter Burke, who's a P1 for Under the Hood, says, would prefer not to see that throw to DJ again, but the kids got stones to try it. Yeah, he's talking about that crazy throw that he had through double coverage. Pretty good. So I thought that was pretty good. So there's more here. Seems someone was not prime time. Sanders is still young, just needs a better team. Do you agree with that from Delgado?
I agree with that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of that in the chat that I'm reading here. But he usually has a solid logic, but he also trained Shedeur when he was younger. I guess he's talking about Cam Newton. Is Cam Newton training quarterbacks? I didn't know.
The Mad Hatter, I guess.
Does he do it with the hat? That's the other question.
Right.
There's something with Cam Newton that's very strange. I can't put my finger on it. That's not CTE.
I was going to say CTE, but
no, I think he's just a dandy.
Yeah.
Is that the right term? Just like he dresses like, like a dandy from the South with that straw hat,
He's going to the Derby.
Every day. You could. But that's once a year, right? Do you dress like that every day?
Well, that'll Willy Wonka.
I just think that's crazy. But you know what? You get the hat, all right? Got the beard the way you want it. Then there's like the ruffled shirt underneath from the 1800s, right? It's got the skinny tie, and then there's like a vest, and then there's like another vest, and there's a jacket. There's a lot going on there. That's style, I guess.
Plantation style.
I've seen that in a few movies. And I don't think he was in the field when he was looking like that. I believe that he was in the house. I believe he was at the time.
Right.
Is that fair to say?
Django.
Yeah.
Django, yes.
I was going to say. I don't know. I think I see that.
He was unchained, yes.
I see. Okay. Well, I was just making sure because I don't think I've seen that before. But that's the way. But, listen, I'm rooting for Caleb. I'm rooting for the Bears, but I'm rooting for Caleb as well for his development, because if the Bears going to do anything for the rest of the year, it's got to be on 18. More so than the crazy wild throws. It's just about getting the ball down the field, not outdumbing the room, just doing what's necessary to keep the ball moving and the chains moving. That is for sure. Anything that stood out? Did you hear Ben Johnson? We just played moments ago. Anything stood out? He always wants to look at the tape. I don't understand that. I mean, he's right there on the sideline.
Yeah, it just typical coach speak. Nothing really stood out. Like they did what they were supposed to do. I know he talked about like the Caleb pass and but it was just coach speak. Nothing stood out. So Browns, I think he knows the target is these next 3 games: the Packers, the 49ers, and Lions, teams that are fighting for playoff position. And these are the games that he's getting paid $14 million a year to win. So hopefully he's ready.
So what's next, Cuzzo? What's next? The rematch.
Redemption. Yes.
Bears and Green Bay Packers. So now you saw what the Bears did offensively. You saw that against the Browns. It shows you where the levels are right now. The Bears are a 10-win football team, and the Browns are trying to find themselves. But this Packers team is very good. So now you have the floor, sir. I need you to tell me, based on what we saw the last game and we're going to see at Soldier Field, what are the Bears going to do with the Packers? What's your expectation?
All right. Gather around, boys and girls. In order for the Bears to climb back to the top of the NFC North, unless the Packers lose today, they're going to need to climb the backs of the Green Bay Packers at Soldier Field. And there is no better way than to get the holiday season started than beating the Packers as at home at Soldier Field. So next Saturday night, the Bears, they won't wait for Santa. They're going to take the North in an emphatic way, belt to ass on the Packers, 30-17, bear down.
It's not quite the 49-7 game you had for the Bears against the Browns. It was, apparently a little closer in this one, huh? A little closer.
A little closer.
Surprised, no wild 49-10, nothing like that for this game. Nothing, because that was a prediction for the Browns game. What happened there?
Just a little modest, little modest. This for this game, just humbling myself and just trying to be objective about what I'm expecting on the field.
Folks, I just want you to take a look here. The backwards Bears hat, the good, better, best t-shirt, the touchdown chain, unbiased. That's right. Unbiased. That's the definition of unbiased right there.
Cuzzo, there's no one more objective than me about the Chicago Bears.
Yeah. Oh, we all know that, cousin. That's exactly right. Saturday night on the lakefront. Boy, what a game. What a spotlight game for the Bears. Not Sunday, Saturday night. We're going to have it all covered for you right here on Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. That's going to be so much fun. Me and Cousin Wiley will be with you. We will break the game down and get your reaction, of course. So make sure that you check in with us. As you're watching right now, make sure that you subscribe to the channel Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. We got so much going for us, and we're just happy to talk about a laugher. The Bears beating up on the Cleveland Browns. That was great to see. Finally, the Bears have something that they can cheer about. Now, let's see if the Bears can go 1-1. I think that the Bears can win, but I think it also is up to what they're going to do against Toyotathon Jordan Love. And that whole thing with Toyotathon is that he heats up in December, just like Toyota's sales with their car sales. December to January is Jordan Love's time. I'll see what happens at Soldier Field. Yeah. But how impressive? That's the question, Cuzzo. How impressive will he be?
Well, that's where my guy Dennis Allen comes to play at, and obviously Caleb has to match whatever that production is or exceed that production, because after all, he's the number one pick in the draft. He's the guy who many thought was going to be a generational quarterback, and he has some generational talent. He just has to find that consistency that we want to need, to win. And, I'm optimistic. And obviously Ben Johnson is there as well. You're not getting paid $14 million just to, fold clothes for George over at Soldier Field. So you're getting paid $14 million to win big games and make the playoffs. And, I have faith in Ben Johnson.
It's the Chicago Bears football team. It is not Jefferson's Cleaners. No one's folding clothes for George. George, the Willises have to come. There is no. What do you mean folding clothes for George? No one's doing that.
I don't know. That's right. That's why Ben has to, have a better performance than he had in the first half of last week. So let's get off to a quick start. Put some points on the board, and let's get out the Jordan Love and force some turnovers. Edmonds may be back next week, so yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But if he's not ready, just sit him out. There's no need to come back and get hurt warming up. But it should be a warmer weather game, 40 degrees, maybe around 30 for game time. So I'm looking forward to it, Cuzzo.
But George, don't slam the door on Mr. Bentley. No, I don't think that's what's happening. You're saying there's no folding the clothes for George McCaskey. He folds his own clothes.
Maybe.
What do you mean maybe? What are you hearing? Are you hearing that the coaching staff is folding clothes for George McCaskey? Florence?
Yes. That's who's
Oh,
sources tell me that
oh.
that sources tell me that Virginia McCaskey had Florence folding George's clothes.
I don't think that. Well, that very well could be a Florence over there. I don't think it was Marla Gibbs, but I believe somebody was doing that. I believe that is the case. That is for sure.
Yeah.
I believe so. Ridiculous. All right. Well, that'll be fine. So we don't get the mascot because the Bears won, right? We don't get the mascot at the end of the show?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. So it's a new streak for the Bears then. Because we usually would have the mascot at the end of the show, but not this one because the Bears won. Okay. All right. Cuzzo, can we talk Saturday? Can we figure this out? Bears and Packers.
Let's do it again.
All right. We thank everybody for watching and checking it out. While you're here, make sure you check out our merchandise in the bio of this podcast. Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. Catch me with David Kaplan on the Captain J. Hood Morning Show. Weekday mornings at 6 a.m. Central Time. And, of course, stay right here. Plenty of more on the Bears, the NFL, college football, the NBA, and more right here on Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. Sorry, Rocky. You're not invited. Sorry, you can't come on. Get in the sea, everybody. Bear down. Get in the sea, Cuzzo, right there. Get in the sea. There. Bear down. All right. We'll talk to you soon on Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood.